Excuse me, I know it's been a very long time, dear, but aren't you Bastila, Helena's little girl? Yes, it is you. I can see it in the eyes. My, how you've grown.
I take it that you know my mother.
Oh yes, I worked for your father on an expedition years ago. Your mother showed me hollows of you before you. Well, before you left. Such a pretty little girl you were.
Is there something I can do for you, miss? As you can see, we're in quite a hurry.
Basila's right. We don't have time for this. Oh, I didn't mean to take up your time. I just wanted to ask you if your mother's condition has improved any since I saw her.
My mother's condition?
Oh, you don't know? Oh dear, I just thought, I assumed that she had found you when I talked to her last. She was desperate to find you.
I've not seen my mother since I joined the Order. Do you know what's happened? Did you say anything about my father?
I'm sorry, dear, but your mother is very ill, so she told me. She didn't say anything about your father. However, I didn't see him.
I see. Where did you meet her? Do you remember?
She's here on Tatooine, dear, in the Katina. You really should go see her, considering her condition.
Part of me would rather not see her at all. But if she is really sick, well, we shall see.
Yeah, when I was recording that, I didn't read that at all. I don't even know what they were talking about. It seems our little stowaway is gone. I don't know what he's talking about. What are you talking about? I saw her sneaking off the ship. I called out to her, but she ran off. I guess she figured it was time to leave. She's probably better off on her own. You're probably right. She's a survivor, after all. That might be why she left. Maybe her instincts warned her we were headed for trouble she wanted no part of. She's probably right. I guess there's nothing more we can do but continue our search for the star maps. I hope things work out for her and for us. Galaxy map. Alright, I think we just have Korriban left. And this used to be the Sith homeworld, but in the last movie trilogy, they changed the Sith homeworld to Excar, but maybe Excar is Malachor 5. It's a possibility, but you might not want to look that up unless you're ready for spoilers, but then at the same time it's also convoluted. Can't be sure what it's supposed to mean.
What happened? What's going on?
Sith interdictor ship. They must have been waiting for us in the hyperspace route. We're caught in their tractor beam.
Do you recognize the ship?
It's the Leviathan.
Leviathan? That's sort of strange. You know, why would a Star Wars ship be called Leviathan? But we got a cargo ship like this one in Star Wars RPG, you know, Star Wars Dungeons and Dragons, and the players named the Millennium Falcon type vessel, they named it Ragnarok. And it's like, why would you name a starship in the Star Wars universe Ragnarok?
Admiral Kareth taught me everything I know about being a soldier. He was a legend in the Republic fleet, and a hero to me until he betrayed us. When the Sith attacked my homeworld, the Leviathan, Saul Kareth's flagship, was at the head of the fleet. My family was destroyed that day, and my wife died in the Sith bombardment.
Don't do anything you'll regret, Karth. What's that supposed to mean?
I'm not gonna do anything stupid. I won't throw our lives away in some mad quest for vengeance, but if I get a chance to kill Saul during our escape, nobody better get in my way.
Talk of an escape is somewhat premature, don't you think? We don't even have a plan to get out of this mess yet.
I'll admit, it won't be easy. Saul's no fool, and he won't underestimate us either. You can count on plenty of guards watching every move we make.
Maybe Admiral Kareth doesn't know how many of us there are on board. We all have special talents. Talents we could exploit so that one of us could stage a rescue. We just have to figure out who has the best chance to avoid capture so they can come and rescue us later. It's a long shot, but it's our only hope.
Admiral Kareth will be watching the three of us very closely. One of the others is going to have to save us.
Well, if we're gonna pick someone to save our skins, we better do it quick. In another minute, we're gonna have Sith troops marching up our loading ramp.
Alright, so I'm going through who all my squad mates are in my head and trying to think about who do I think is the best choice. Juhani I've barely used, and she was saved from the dark side. HK-47 I just bought, and he's a psycho robot. The Wookiee, I don't know. Maybe I should have trusted the Wookiee. Joe Lee. He seems kind of senile. Maybe I should have chosen Joe Lee. Mission is just a little girl. Kind of a scoundrel. So I chose the astromech droid.
Backup memory chip with a timer. When it kicks in, the little fellow will be reactivated.
I had those memories of R2-D2 in the Star Wars movies firing up, and I was thinking, oh yeah, the astromech droid can save us. Yeah, Luke always trusted his astromech droid. You know, the astromech droid saved them from the trash compactor, and you know, he had Luke's lightsaber in the Return of the Jedi, and it shot out and he caught it. Yeah, it seemed like R2 was always doing stuff like that.
Karth, it has been far too long since we last spoke. I see the recent months have not been kind in your case. I barely recognized you.
But I recognize you, Saul. I see your face every night, even as I promised myself I would kill you for what you did to my homeworld.
Did you learn nothing in your time under me? As a soldier, you should understand that casualties were unavoidable. This was an act of war.
It was a cowardly
I really felt a lot of tension from this scene. I was like, wow, I can't even believe this is going on in this game.
It was on your hands.
In war, even the innocent must die. The Sith would not accept me until I proved I had truly turned my back on the Republic by bombing the planet.
My wife died in that attack, Saul. And for that, I swear I'll kill you.
Yeah, this is kind of going too far.
Cling to your lust for revenge if you must, but spare me your tired threats. I've heard them all before. You're an insignificant part of these events anyway.
I like how Bastila's in her underwear now.
He has great plans for you.
We will never serve Malak or the dark side. The Sith will.
Blood, but the lure of the dark side is hard to resist.
Well, that's kind of what some video games were like.
I wonder if your companion is as devoted to the light as you.
Now it's starting to look pretty weird. You're wasting your time, Saul. I'll never betray the Jedi. And these are pretty extremist options. You either pledge loyalty to the Jedi, or you start talking like you're willing to join the Sith.
Killed you once and for all, but he may want to question you given the trouble you've caused him and the history between you.
History? What are you talking about?
You mean, oh, this can't be true, can it? You really don't know what's going on here, do you? Well, I won't be the one to deprive Malik of the pleasure of telling you himself. The Dark Lord will no doubt torture you for information and for his own twisted pleasure. Eventually, you will tell him everything. The Sith can be very persuasive. However, Lord Malik is in another sector. It may be some time before he arrives, so I suppose I will have to fill in for you until then. Activate the torture fields.
And then they're being tortured. This is awkward.
Enough. I don't want them to pass out before I question them. Malik will appreciate any information I can give him when he arrives.
Don't waste your breath, Saul. We won't answer any of your questions.
I'm sure you won't. However, we both know your friend's loyalties have proven in the past to be somewhat flexible.
What are you talking about?
I am interrogating you, not the other way around. You will answer questions, not ask them. It is time to put your loyalty to the test. I doubt torturing you will gain me your true cooperation. Your will is too strong to be broken that way.
I was like, is this a
even the
child's game?
strongest of heroes has trouble watching those they care about suffering. The interrogation will begin now.
Yeah, there was torture and Fable also.
Bastila will suffer.
I will not betray the Jedi Order, even to save Bastila. I mean, I don't really care about betraying the Jedi Order,
My pain is meaningless.
but
Tell him nothing.
none of these options
Now I won't
really
try.
describe how my
I'm not
character
planning
feels
to
right
get back
now.
at which you betrayed.
I'm playing sort of neutral. Jedi Academy, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Very well. This is the price of your resistance. Enough. You see what happens when you try to defy me. This first question was a test. Obviously, Malik knew the Academy was on Dantooine, and it has since been destroyed by our fleet. Dantooine is an empty graveyard now. Nothing is there but a smoking ruin and the charred remains of your former masters.
No, you're lying. It isn't true. You will pay for this crime, Saul.
It doesn't matter whether you believe me or not. The fact remains that the Jedi on Dantooine have been eradicated, along with any hope of someone coming to rescue you. Now, tell me your mission. How were the Jedi planning on using you to stop Lord Malik and our Sith Armada?
I won't betray the Jedi.
Perhaps you need a reminder of the consequences of refusing to cooperate.
No! Pain!
Listen, can you not hear her suffering? You can spare her further pain by simply answering my questions. Now I will ask again, on what mission did the Jedi Council send you?
You are a sick and evil man, Saul Karath. This accomplishes nothing, Saul. We will never betray the Republic.
Is it
No! No! I beg you, no! Mercy! No!
I am surprised she did not pass out sooner. Rarely have I seen someone withstand such punishment and remain conscious. I see I am wasting my time here. When Malak arrives, you will learn my interrogation techniques and consider merciful the Sith. I will leave you here in your cell with a small taste of the horrors you will suffer when Malak arrives.
Don't try to move too quickly. You might not be fully recovered yet. Admiral Kareth had his guards continue to torture you even after you passed out.
They tortured all of us, though you got the worst of it by far. Saul wanted them to make us suffer. He's become some sort of sadistic monster.
The dark side has perverted him, Carth. Once you start down the tainted path, it leads you ever further into the depths of evil. I fear he is forever lost.
Blah, blah, blah. Don't you ever get tired of being so preachy? Why, I didn't want to say no one is without hope of redemption, Bastila. Well, these are some great dialogue options.
This is not a matter to joke about. If there is one thing we can learn from Saul, it's how the power of the dark side can corrupt even the bravest of heroes. Sort of forgive me. Snapping at you like that won't help our situation. I suppose I'm taking the news of Dantooine's destruction quite hard. First Taurus, now the Academy. Is there no end to the killing?
Maybe Admiral Kareth was lying.
I'd like to believe that Saul was lying to us. But even as he said the words, I knew they were true. The Academy is gone. We should have felt a disturbance in the Force when the attack came. The fact that we did not is a bad sign. I fear the dark side is growing stronger, casting shadows our vision cannot pierce. I can only hope that some of the Jedi escaped. Luke, Endar, Zar. I cannot imagine all of them being gone. In any case, we've lost our one place of refuge in the galaxy.
None of this will matter if we don't get out of this prison before Saul gets back.
Where is Saul Karath now?
Saul mentioned that Lord Malak was on his way. I think the Admiral left to prepare for his arrival and to report the results of our interrogation.
It is fortunate you were able to resist the Admiral's questioning. The fate of the galaxy could be changed by revealing the slightest piece of vital information. I have to confess something. There was a moment, just a moment, when part of me was hoping he would tell him what he wanted to know, just to make the horrible pain stop.
Saul would have tortured us no matter what I told him.
I've known Admiral Kareth a long time, and I think you're right. The interrogation was a sham. Saul was toying with us. He didn't care what we told him. I think it was just an excuse to torture us before Malak arrived.
Did you feel that? A disturbance in the Force. The Admiral has sent his message. The Dark Lord knows we're here now. Malak is coming.
Well, then we better hope T3M4 busts us out of here before he arrives.
And now I'm already having some second thoughts about this. I'm like, oh no, am I gonna play as the astromech droid? I know, it's given me something to do. And I'm sort of choosing numbers here. I don't really understand what it's telling me to do. Those two were successful. How is 9 not the correct answer? Your entire party has been killed. Return to main menu, and you can try that trial and error. It was already pretty dark, and the idea that, you know, that moment is kind of happening. Weird. And loading the autosave. I still have to repeat this.
Since we last spoke. I see the recent months have not been kind.
But I recognize you.
Did you learn nothing?
I'm skipping these dialogue parts. So then it doesn't really matter what dialogue choices he chose.
You're defiant.
Is there gonna be
The Dark Lord would
going through the whole thing again, choosing them real quickly, and for a speed playthrough, you know, if that's in the works,
Don't waste your
then
breath.
yeah, this is what the conversation parts we were used
However,
to.
even the interrogation will begin.
My pain is meaningless.
I tire of it. Very well, this is the price.
Like, you think you could beat the game in like 6 hours? I don't know. It's a good question.
It doesn't matter. Now, tell me your mission. Perhaps you need a...
How much of it was wandering around confused and listening to people talk?
I see I'm
If I had a stronger character build.
Don't try to move too quickly.
They tortured all of us.
The dark side has perverted. Yes. I suppose I'm taking the news. I'd like to believe that Saul. We should have felt a I can only hope that some.
None of this will... Saul mentioned that Lord
It is fortunate you. I have to confess something. There was. I know you would. I don't honestly know if. Did you feel that?
Well, then we better hope T3...
I'm trying the T3 part again. Whoops. Well, now it happened again. I'm gonna go load game. You know, load the previous save. And how long does it take me to do all this again?
I'm Bastille. Is there something I can do for you?
This is sort of how the game goes sometimes.
I've not seen my mother. I see. Where? Part of me would rather not see her at all.
There's that stowaway part again, don't know what they're talking about. That's a cheery thought. And I was thinking about how when I was 12 years old, I even just enjoyed being on this spaceship. You know, I'm on this spaceship, this is so cool.
What happened? What's going on?
Sith interdictor ship. They must have been waiting for us in the hyperspace route. We're caught in their tractor beam.
Do you recognize the ship?
It's the Leviathan. Saul Kara's vessel.
Can't seem to skip any of the dialogue in that part.
Admiral Kareth taught me everything I know. When the Sith attack...
Don't do anything you'll regret.
Talk of an escape.
I'll admit, it won't be easy.
Maybe Admiral Kareth will just have to figure... The Admiral will be what?
Well, if we're gonna...
Right now, here I'm going to choose Candace, who's who I remember choosing.
I'll go into the Ebon Hawks.
Hold on, they're dragging us...
Bastila, excellent. We found an injured Admiral Kareth. He's unconscious, right? Dump the Mandal.
Karth, it has been far too long since we last spoke. I see the recent months have not been covered.
But I recognize you.
Did you learn nothing in your...
It was a
This
cowardly
is getting
act.
trippy.
Even the
My wife died in that attack.
things. You used to be a man of your insignificant part.
We will never serve.
Your words are brave. You're defiant. The Dark Lord will... You mean... The Dark Lord will know that. However, Lord Mal... Enough. I don't want...
Don't waste your breath.
I'm sure you won't. It is time to put your... However, even the interrogation will begin.
My pain is...
I tire of... Very well. Enough. This first question with Dantooine isn't... It doesn't matter whether you... Now, tell me your... Perhaps you need a reminder. Listen. Now I will ask. Perhaps another lesson.
No!
I am surprised. I see I'm wasting my... I will leave you here in...
So what do you think? Better than Final Fantasy VII?
Don't try to move too quick.
They tortured all of us.
The dark side has been... Yes. I suppose I'm...
Now, some of the dialogue choices I'm choosing are just random.
None of this will matter. Saul mentioned that Lord Malik...
It is fortunate you... I have to confess something. I know you would never do... I don't honestly... Did you feel that?
Well, then we better hope Canderous...
Alright. Pick up from here. Candors.